Hi, I'm Nicholas Wallwork. Thank you for joining me today. I want to talk about borrower experience and how that is important in today's world when going for a loan, whether it's an HMO loan, a bridging loan, land and development loan, whatever it is. Understanding how your experience and track record feeds into the application and what kind of implications that has. If you like this kind of information, whether it be finance, property investment information, HMOs, anything to do with property development, please do subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we do and upload some excellent new educational videos. I'm joined today again with Lucy from Vantage Finance. Hi, Lucy.
Hello.
So, how important it is on a general scale to have experience already when trying to get a loan for an investment property of any type, and what do people have to think about? What do they do if they're not experienced as well?
So
Two questions in one. Sorry.
It's more important than some people realise. We have a lot of clients that come to us and they've done all the planning, they've got all these great ideas, whether it's a development, refurbishment, etc. And they come and say, this is what I want to do. And no one has ever said to them, you might struggle to get lending because you don't have experience. Quite often that is the first time they hear it from us, and they've done a lot of their planning in the background already.
Yeah.
It kind of works a little bit with logic in that if you're buying a buy-to-let single investment, you don't really need to have experience. There are a host of lenders that will lend to first-time landlords. Not many that will lend to first-time buyer, first-time landlords. They normally want you to own your main residence at least.
Okay. So some assets, is it due to the assets in the background there?
It's some assets, but it's also, there's a fear in the market that people might use a buy-to-let mortgage to abuse the system that they intend to live in, because it hinges on the rental income rather than your personal income.
Okay, so if they're less financeable, some people try to get around it by taking a buy-to-let mortgage and then living in it illegally.
Exactly. So it may be that their income doesn't quite stack up to take a residential mortgage.
Yeah.
So some lenders will have a blanket policy that they don't lend to first-time buyer, first-time landlords, because they don't even want to take the smallest amount of risk. Whereas there are the odd lender that will look at it on a case-by-case basis, and they might say, okay, well, your buy-to-let that you're buying is at the opposite end of the country to where you're currently living and working, so you're probably not planning to move into it, and they'll make a discretional call and say that's fine. So that's your standard buy-to-let. HMO, you have some lenders that will insist that you either have previous HMO experience or buy-to-let experience, and then you've got some that will say no, that's fine, you can go straight into HMO. That's normally the smaller up to 6 bedrooms. So when you get into the more commercial space, which was a topic that we'd actually touched on earlier, you do generally have to have some sort of experience, because there are some management issues, you know better than anyone, when you're managing 5 different tenants rather than one single AST. You can't argue that it can be more challenging. Not always, but sometimes. So lenders want to make sure that they have the right people and that they are lending to the right people with the right experience. So
I think a lot of people at home, looking to get into property investing, perhaps haven't invested in anything yet, will be sort of asking, well, that's a bit of a chicken and egg situation, isn't it? I've got to have some experience to get my first loan. But I think, would you say in that situation where someone's done nothing yet, it just means you're restricted by lenders? It doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yes, correct.
So there are some people out there.
Yeah, we normally can find somebody a product, but it always comes back to price then, because it may mean that the mainstream end of the market's not available to you and it's going to be a little bit more expensive. So it's then looking, does the project still stack up on that financial model? Which, if it does, great, there's an option available, but sometimes it may shape the type of project that you're going for. When it comes to refurbishment, so sort of as you go up the more complex scale, it becomes harder without experience. So,
I was about to get onto that. So when you're talking like an office to residential conversion, for example, that's however big it is, that's still major development, isn't it?
Most lenders won't lend to somebody if they've got no development or refurbishment experience, and that is why it's so important to have the right team around you. So we've worked with you on schemes whereby customers themselves haven't got the experience, but you've been project managing it and taking the lead on certain aspects, and that gives lenders a lot of comfort because they know that there is somebody there doing all the things that perhaps somebody without experience wouldn't know will come up and possibly create delays, or it can be that perhaps they don't exit the loan in time because they've had certain delays which they could have foresawn had they have had the experience that you guys do.
All right, cool. Yeah, so it's all about, what we bang on about on the channel and a lot of our content in our books is, build your power team, build the professional team around you, and especially in the early days. I mean, I have a power team now. Lucy's part of my power team and deals with all our finance applications, and we have various people we still work with all the time. But when you're starting out, it's sometimes almost more important, especially if you want to scale up quickly and do bigger sites quickly.
Yes, exactly. And I think sometimes you can be too careful that you think, I don't want to spend any more money employing any more people because I want to save every pound on the project, but actually it can be more costly in the long run, whether that's because you've got holding costs on your finance and you've got delays, or it could just be outright mistakes. That comes more into your arena. You buy the wrong whatever it is, piece of equipment or fittings, furniture,
toilet
whatever
doesn't fit where the plumber's built, whatever.
Exactly. Or you don't pass what you need to pass for your HMO license or building regs or whatever it is. So lenders like experience for that reason. They don't want mistakes to be made, because that can impact a borrower's ability to either get the property let, start producing income, or to pay them back at all. So experience is reasonably important, but if you don't have experience, it doesn't mean you can't ever get started, because everyone has to start somewhere. It just makes it a little bit more challenging. The pool of lenders shrinks a bit, and we have to be a bit more creative with how we look at the structure. Thank you very much. It's really, really insightful. Thank you so much to Lucy from Vantage Finance there. If you'd like to connect with Lucy, get a quote for your own application and work with her and her team, make sure you click one of the links around this video, and we'll put you guys in touch and get you a solid member of your power team to look after your kind of financing needs, whether it's sort of HMO lending, buy-to-let lending, everything up to bridge loans and development finance. Hopefully you've seen some of the problems that can arise, some of the intricacies, and I say it on all my videos, why we work with people like Lucy and our power team in various areas, because they know the detail, they understand the problems, they've been through it 100 times. Any broker can fill in an application and fire it off, but knowing how that lender is going to react, learning the details of every single lender and how they respond to certain problems, everything from the track record and experience we're talking about in this video, there's 101 pitfalls you can fall down on in a finance application. Working with the right people is vitally important. If you found this video useful, please do subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos on the channel. Hope you've enjoyed this. Check out our other videos with Lucy on the channel and other partners. Also, we've been doing some tours of an HMO with Lucy, which is interesting, so make sure you dig those videos out on our channel, and we hope to see you very soon.